Yo,
Hey, welcome to the new meta, episode 86.
86. Can you believe it?
86. That's a
86
lot.
episodes in. Woo.
Who would have thought, man?
No,
Who
I
would have
wouldn't
thought
have.
I could tolerate you for 86 episodes?
You beat me to the joke, but
I knew it was coming, man. I
yeah,
had to be quick to the punch.
true.
So you just got back in town literally today,
Last night, real late.
last night.
Mhm.
Okay. And how was New York?
It was good. I mean, I've been there half a dozen times. My parents hadn't been there though. That's why I took them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was all right, man. So I saw Hamilton, which is pretty cool. Crazy powerful voices in that thing. And then Dear Evan Hansen, which came recommended by my brother. A little emo for my taste, maybe, but it was good.
What is this?
Dear Evan Hansen, it's like a Broadway show.
So you saw a couple shows.
Yeah.
Cool. I have no idea. How expensive are these show tickets? Are we talking hundreds of dollars?
I mean,
a show?
Hamilton is insane. Like Hamilton was like $300 per
A
ticket.
seat?
Yeah.
Yikes, man,
Yeah.
that's craziness.
Right.
That's craziness.
But yeah, the Dear Evan
Cool.
was like 80, but still, that's really expensive.
And how was traveling with the parents?
This is kind of like the first time I've been confronted by how old they really are.
Yeah.
So like my dad walks, he does like at least like 20,000 steps a day or something like that. Or at least he used to. I don't know if he's been keeping up with it. He says he has, but like, I don't know. Like just watching him walk on the streets, like he's like tripping over his own feet and like, he's old. He's like almost 86, I think, but
Yeah.
fuck.
Wow. Your dad's getting around for 86.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's weird. I noticed this probably 10 or 15 years ago that they're like as there's this shift in power and leadership, I guess, in the family. Like it used to be when you're little, you're going on vacation, you're doing something, going on a trip.
Mhm.
My dad, at least in my family, was always the one take charge. Okay, you do this, you do that. Let's get everything together. Let's go. Time, all this.
Right.
And then as you get older, it starts to become like, well, what do you think? He'd take your input. And then
Right.
after a little bit, it's like, what are you going to do? It's like this complete shift of
right.
like, you're now the leader. And I assume, it'll be the same for me and my kids too. So,
Yeah. Crazy.
but let's jump into, man, we got a lot of Diablo stuff to talk about this week.
I mean, I feel bad because this is going to be like the first podcast in history where you're going to like know more than me.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was gone all weekend. I didn't get to do any of
finally
this PTR.
admits ThaPChild knows more than him. Make sure that's
This one
a clip.
week.
I want to see this everywhere.
This one
Guys,
week.
we need emotes. Last week's poll, I don't know if you have it.
Nope.
Good to
Yeah,
go.
of course.
But
Pull it up. Yeah. So this is something I'm actually excited to talk about this because I'm actually really passionate about it. So I asked, and let me just spam it super quick in chat. Should there be an end game and all measure of power? And what I mean by that is something like Uber Elder / Awakener 8 from Path of Exile, or should power continue to scale like it does in Diablo 3 with greater rifts, assuming there was no 150 cap?
it's such a hard, like, I agree with both things. Like,
Okay.
I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, well, yes, it should scale.
What?
Oh, man.
You got to pick.
Man, if I had to pick one, I am going to lean towards the side of scaling.
Okay.
Because my reasoning for that is because it's going to give you a carrot on a stick that you can never catch. And hopefully the chase is worth doing. If the chase is worth doing, never catching that carrot is fun because you can see how far you can go. But again, like I do think having a measure of power is nice because then you get that can be the metric. Like, okay, we can make all these sets capable of killing this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boom, we're good. So,
I don't know.
what are your thoughts?
So, I've played a lot of both, and I'm torn. I'm really torn. I'm sure just like you are. On the one hand, you have the the static measure of power is nice in the sense that like your character does eventually reach that end, and you know that like, okay, I've made, like in Path of Exile, you're like, I know I've made a build that's good because it can kill Awakener 8, it can kill Uber Elder. So this is like, this, you can put a stamp on this. This is an official build. Awesome. Like I've done all the things. But I do get that burnout once I've killed Awakener 8 on a character, because it's like, well, what do I do now? Now I can continue, and like there's endless progression in PvE. I could just keep farming to get better and better loot, but without really pushing the bounds of like what my character can do, like in the game, I kind of lose a little bit of interest. So I'm gonna go with infinite scaling as well, but mostly from the sense of not like Diablo Greater Rifts, but like the idea of infinite scaling, and I feel like it could be done really well. I don't know.
I think when I read this question, to me, I put Diablo 4 in there.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, should Diablo 4 have an end game that has an end all measure of power or infinite scale? And I want to lean towards infinite scale, but it scares me a little bit, because then I'm like, well, were we just going to get Greater Rifts again? Like that's, there's got to be a different way, a different metric.
I think you could have both. Like you could have something like, say, Diablo 4. Like Diablo 4 is actually this insanely hard dude, like Awakener 8 or Uber Elder. But then on top of that, there is, kind of infinitely scaling activities. So that you still have that staple of, I know I've kind of beaten the game. I know this build's good. But then you'd have it for those hardcore people, like, how can I take this to the next level? How can I keep pushing the boundaries of what this build can do?
So let's just say that the only end game that we're aware of at this point is the dungeons,
right?
In Diablo 4. So let's say that they have Diablo's the end boss. Let's say Lilith. Let's say Lilith is the end boss of Diablo 4, and on the hardest difficulty, she is ridiculously tough, right? So you get a build, you make a build, you kill her, yes, you stamp it, right? Then let's say that those dungeons have an infinite scale. Let's say that you can crank up some kind of difficulty indefinitely. Okay. Is that the rewards are still going to be the same as if you did it at a lower level, just maybe more rewards or a higher chance of getting higher quality rewards, but you could still get it. They're not exclusive. Is that enough to make it worth it?
I don't know. It's tough. Depends on how exciting and engaging they are, I guess. But I don't know.
Like smashing your face in something that's going to take you 45 minutes at the highest level, or you can do it in 2 minutes at like a farm level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has to be worth the squeeze, man. That's the thing, is the infinite scaling sets the, man, it's hard. It's hard to say, man.
Right.
I'm going to say infinite scaling though. Let's see what we got.
And chat's saying like Delve again, like we've had this conversation like 100 times. Like Delve isn't really that infinite scaling measure of power in PoE. Like you're ultimately, the builds that are going to go the furthest are like very meta and like very geared towards just doing that. You can't really take any build you want in Deep Delve. You can go as far as you can with it, but it's not really.
That could be a whole another topic of conversation in itself.
Anyways.
Is should there be sets of gear for specific activities? Like, I mean, if you think about Diablo 3, we have T16 and Greater Rifts, like kind of separate builds, and you have your 4-player builds. But like, what if you had specific dungeon builds? You know, this dungeon, I use this one, and
yeah, I mean, I think PoE 2 is kind of like going that direction, possibly with their sort of socket 2.0 system, so you can just swap out gear on the fly. They're not attached to links anymore.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that would be an option, but who knows?
They better work on that storage management. I hate, that's something I hate in every game. That every game I play has gear drops, whether it's Diablo. I've been playing PoE. I've been playing Division, like Destiny. All these games. You're sitting there. I spend so much time managing inventory, and there's no way around that. I know there's no way around that. But man, I don't feel like anybody has nailed it yet. I don't have an interface where I'm like, oh, this is good. I like this. This feels great.
Right. So. Yeah, it's tough. So we'll just go and vote. I don't know. What do you think the results? Do you think this will be split down the middle like we've been every week, or do you think?
I think people are going to say infinite scaling, because I feel like that's more of what Diablo 3 is, and
Yeah.
that's going to be more what our community's based.
Probably.
That's just my guess.
All right. Let's see.
I'm usually wrong on what the community feels. So.
That's pretty split. So we
Yeah,
have 59% of the vote.
Static power.
Yeah, wants the static power, and 41% says infinite scaling. Yeah, it's tough. Because we both saw both sides. It's not even like we're like, oh yeah, this or death.
Yeah, I'm not upset about
Right.
it at all. You know.
Yeah.
So
both, I think, is the answer. But still, then I want to get both because then everyone voted both. And then the new question for next week: from what you've played and seen thus far on PTR, oh, we got the wrong keyboard. My bad. What is your favorite set? Which set do you like the most? Typhon's Veil, which is the Wizard Hydra set. Mundunugu's Regilia, Witch Doctor, Spirit Barrage set, or Horde of the 90 Savages, the Barbarian Frenzy set.
Hey, I needed a new Witch Doctor name for this set. Can you give me something? Like, yeah, hold on. Let me smash my keyboard real quick.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But speaking of those sets,
yeah,
I think you have some little feedback for us. I haven't played any of them.
You didn't play any of them?
No, I've only been playing Necro.
Okay, well that's good because I didn't play any Necro, so we'll have that covered. I jumped into the Wizard set first.
Okay.
And I expected to like the Barb set the most, just on paper. When I read these sets, I was like, oh, I think Barb's going to be my set. Wizard, I don't know. I jumped in, I started playing Wizard. I had fun with the set. I instantly when I started putting pieces together, I didn't look at any leaderboards. I didn't look at anybody's sets. I just started like, okay, let's think this through and see what we can throw on. And I instantly kind of went to the Paralysis, Manald, Heal, Lightning set. And so I started slapping that together, and it was instantly like pretty powerful. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then ultimately later on ended up realizing that the Frost Hydra was just ridiculous. So I'm sitting there blowing things up, and then chat's like, oh, you know that Etch Sigil and Death Wish are double dipping, right? I'm like, oh no. So it's super broken right now, which makes it hard to test. But the notes I have, it looks like some Legacy of Dreams or Legacy of Nightmares variants could end up being way stronger than the sets just from the items that got buffed. So we'll have to see if that ends up becoming the case.
Rax did a 1700 Paragon 127 without using the broken shit with the new set, which is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's good.
I think it'll be still quite good even after they fix the
yeah,
issue.
I'm not saying that the set's going to be bad.
Yeah, it may not be RGK. Yeah.
I think LOD could end up being better. I don't know. We'll have to see. And then I think that could end up being the case for almost all the new sets. Anytime they tweak legendaries, it's just like that LOD gem is so nice. It's just like, oh,
right.
What else can we do?
Yeah.
And then especially with the cube being thrown in the mix too, it's just it's going to be nasty.
But like, talk to me from like a play style point of view. Yeah.
So from a play style, you're throwing Hydras down, and the extra heads that you're getting from the set, for a weird reason, it doesn't work with the fire Hydra. It's just this big mammoth Hydra. It doesn't have any additional heads. I think they need to tweak that. But you're throwing Hydras down. You can have 2 Hydras out. Each of them has 5 heads. So each time you cast Hydra, you're getting 5 stacks of your debuff, of your defensive buff. And they wreck face just depending on what you have. So like from my play style, I was using Etch Sigil, Death Wish, and I was channeling. So the Etch Sigil would cast the Hydras for you. But that's at first that your thought process, oh, it's going to cast the Hydras, all I get to do is teleport around and channel. But you end up having to cast the Hydras. It's kind of, I think it's bugged a little bit. It has a weird cooldown, but you run around, you drop Hydras, they wreck things. It feels a lot like Tarasha Meteor did, because you're using the Etch Sigil and the Death Wish, where you're teleporting, kind of standing still, channeling, trying to let that 1 second tick off because you have to wait for the buffs now. And then your Hydras are wrecking face.
Did the mirrored image
Hydras
idea work, or is that no?
It did cast an extra Hydra. However, the Hydra didn't do any damage. I tested it.
But does it matter the Hydra does damage? I thought the heads give you more damage.
The heads didn't give you more stacks. Your stack counter did not go past 10.
Damn.
the damage number on my sheet didn't go up, my defense didn't go up, and then on top of that, the hydras they cast did shit for damage.
Bummer.
So like technically it worked, but it didn't, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh shit! You know, even Rax push with LOD. I wasn't in the set.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right.
The LOD set was pretty broken. But it's, you know, from a playstyle perspective, it felt like a newer version of Talrasha Meteor.
Yeah.
You're not waiting for the meteors to fall. You're just dropping your hydras on top of enemies, letting them kill things while you channel. As soon as you see damage start to come your way, you got to get out. You know, it's super bugged. Etch Sigil, Death Wish, double dipping. The shield didn't work, so like I threw on, I think it's Galvanizing Ward, which gives you a shield when you're casting, and then you have the bracers, the Ashen Guard Blood bracers that give you a over shield for more for that. So I'm thinking instantly, okay, I got this shield. I'm not going to take damage. My hydras are going to stay alive, but it just goes right through the shield. Getting hit just removes the heads. The internal cooldown proc on them didn't work at all. Like I tested it normal with the shield on that never got taken off. I could lose all 10 stacks while casting more, like, you know, more hydras in about a second. So internal cooldown needs to get fixed. So it's really, really hard to see how it's going to end up playing if they fix the bugs. But
I like
it's
basically
fun, though,
you're just spamming hydras and
yeah, you're spamming hydras and
damage.
channeling. Yeah, so like you know, you need your shield. You're going to get your shield from your channel. So it plays like Talrasha Meteor. I mean, you're teleporting around. You're going to find your circles on the ground. You're going to stand in your circles, channel, let your hydras kill shit and move. I personally like the play style. Talrasha Meteor is one of my favorite builds or sets in the game for a long time. So I think it's okay. I think it's going to be good.
But you like the more basic play styles. I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like. I like when you have to micromanage. Not like COE micromanaging, but like I was really hoping this would take advantage of like elemental exposure or something where you'd have to like really try to.
Yeah, so my thoughts on this set are it feels nice and it feels good, but it feels a lot like Tal Meteor. And so if this set had been in the game for 3 months and you ask me, what do you think about the TV set? I'm going to say, I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, the only reason it's fun right now is because it's new. Right. You know, and I kind of had this conversation with chat. I don't want to shit on the set because I like the set and it's fun. And they took some chances with the Hydra heads and things that hopefully they can get the bugs worked out and don't have to redesign. But in all reality, it's really not new, so to say. It feels so much like Tal Meteor. I don't necessarily know how you could make it, you know, play drastically. I don't really like the S Sigil and Death Wish are part of it. I you know, in an ideal world for me, it would rework the set or rework the abilities to where those things don't influence it, because I feel like those items are for Tal Meteor and they should stay with Tal Meteor. Like, let's not use the same shit in the Hydra set that we're using for other sets. It goes back to something we've been talking about for 2 years now. Like, sets need to be independent. Like, you don't want to use Sun Wuko's and you know, all that's my brain dead. What's the other set? Innas. You don't want to use Sun Wuko and Innas for the same wave of light.
Right.
You know, like, let's not use Etch Sigil and Death Wish for Talrasha Meteor and then also the TV set and probably Firebirds and every other set out there.
Yeah.
So it's cool. And I'm going to reiterate again, the Death Wish and Etch Sigil and Mantle of Channeling 1 second debuff they put on them feels really bad. I really hope that they can figure out a way to break Star Pact and revert those changes, because I don't know, man. It makes me
at the very least
like
do the 0.35 millisecond instead of the 1 second. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like anything. Like, just no, man. Just change the rune for Star Pact. Like, literally just change that rune. You know, I don't know, something. So I'm sure like SVR and those guys that theory crafted the meta could give you ways to break it without having to do the Etch Sigil stuff. I would hope. So but yeah, it's interesting set. It was, like I said, fun, pretty familiar, and I hope that they can work it out. So then the next day I tested the Barb set.
Okay. Frenzy.
And so on my initial process, the first thing I thought of was the 2-piece bonus. And I remember how they put the blog post out, and the blog post is like, we don't want to create any more ZDPS. And then the 2-piece bonus is like, yo, ZDPS mandatory requirements, you know? So it seems contradictory to me. The fearing feels really bad with a melee set where you have to run things down.
Mm.
So I don't really get the synergy there. It's not as horrible feeling as you would think, but it's still kind of just like, why this doesn't synergize that well. It seems like you were just trying to make a ZDPS set. Damage was super lacking in the set. And a lot of that goes back to the Bastion. There are some bugs with it, but basically what the Bastion weapon does is AoE damage is shared among all the enemies hit. So let's say that you're sniping an elite and it's the only elite on the next to you. All of your damage is channeling into him. It's fine. You got a little bit of damage, you can kill him. But as more enemies group up to you and get on top of you, all of that damage starts being shared among all the enemies.
Right.
And the bigger the pack of trash you have, like you start doing no damage to the point where it's like, I'm not killing anything.
But I kind of like that because I thought in the sense that they're encouraging you to not play like you always play in Diablo, where you just gather up a whole bunch of shit and fucking left click and blah, like go brain dead. I was hoping they'd be like, okay, you need to get the elites away from the trash. Like you're not just trying to kill hordes of trash for once.
And maybe that was the intent of the fear, but to get things away from you. But it's not really controllable, and it just doesn't work in practice. Like in practice, more of the elites are going to have things around them, and your damage just suffers so hard. And then on top of that, it's broken. So SVR posted a thing, and in this, he says Bastion has only one chance to proc. Your additional 10 hits don't proc anything.
Right.
So you have 11 total hits per swing, and only one of them has a chance to proc AoE, to proc life per hit, to proc the sidearms from the runes. So that needs to be reworked as well. And you can totally tell when you're playing it, like toughness issues, like the life per hit. If it's hitting 11 times instead of 1, obviously that's going to make some crazy regen, your area damage, and all that kind of stuff to kill enemies. So maybe just fixing Bastion would really change the way it feels. But I know that I went into like a 110, and my toughness was fine. I wasn't dying, but I literally did no damage to the mobs.
Sure.
I mean, I was just standing there, just like.
So, like, real quick, like someone tried to say these sets are a disaster. These sets are performing infinitely better than the Monk and the Crusader set initial launch.
Last time.
So,
do you guys remember the Monk set last time?
This will get iterated on, but we're already in an infinitely better spot than we were this time. So, and we're gonna get more time to test.
Yeah, and I'm gonna even further go into why, because we don't have a set release date for season 20. They haven't. Last time we got PTR, the release date for season 19 was like in stone. Like they literally had a finite window to get those sets done. They haven't said that yet. They haven't officially announced it, so they technically could linger this out forever. And then B, they're doing a 2-week PTR. I'm hoping we're gonna get some changes before the PTR ends, or at least a patch or something.
Sure.
But even if we don't, I would expect we'll get another one this time around.
Yeah.
And we have such a better starting point. Like this is a PTR. This isn't a finished product, and I think people blur that line a lot, and they'll think, "Oh, this is what we're getting. This is garbage."
Sure.
Like, no, they're getting our feedback. They gave it to us for us to test and give feedback on, and go from there. So
yeah.
But yeah, man, the Barb set could be fixed. So damage was lacking. You can fix damage. The frenzy stacks fall off way too fast, in my opinion. You have a 4-second timer of your frenzy stacks. That's super, super short. I mean, even between packs, you can just drop all your stacks. So hopefully, I would like to see that change to 10 seconds. I think it would just make it play more smoothly. And I don't think micromanaging your frenzy stacks is like engaging gameplay or like top tier. Just to me, that's not the thing that makes the set.
Talk to me again about playstyle here. Is it just Furious Charge, Shout, Spam, Frenzy?
There's a couple ways you could play it. What I did Furious Charge. I think what people ended up pushing higher with was Whirlwind, Ground Stomp. in Frenzy, and I think that they were using the Whirlwind to move through mobs and potentially proc Zodiac if they were using a Zodiac. But I didn't play that, and then Ground Stomp for Band of Might, I would assume, things like that. But that seemed to be the play style. I personally ran Furious Charge instead of Ground Stomp and Triple Shout and other things just to play around. I didn't spend days and days trying to test it. Once I realized kind of how broken it was, I didn't stick with it for a super long time. But the play style was pretty cool. Like you could charge enemies and smash them in the face really fast, and charge into more enemies and smash them in the face. So for a T16 standpoint, it did work at T16 very well. It wasn't like Wave of Light. It wasn't as fast as Rend Whirlwind or even the Monk sets, but I was able to destroy T16s, with no challenge. Just charging through enemies, smashing them in the face, blowing them up.
You would think that'd be really slow for Torment compared to Whirlwind or Charge
comparatively, Barb. Yes, it was. But I'm just saying, like, I wasn't in risk of dying. You know what I mean? It was easy to kill things, and I was never in jeopardy of dying. So it was a nice like C tier speed set. It was probably one of the slower ones, but capable.
Looks like the highest we have is a 115 on PTR right now at 1400 Paragon. So it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's there. Some of my community members tested it quite a bit, and one of them said that at like around 1200, 1300 Paragon, they could consistently do 110s, consistently clear 110s, not speed them, but clear them. And then if they started fishing, they could get up to 115, 116. So
pretty good first iteration.
Yeah. Like I said, damage needs to be buffed a little bit.
So far, what I'm understanding is both of them are okay, but neither are very exciting.
Yeah. I think the Barb set has potential. I think that they should redesign the 2-piece and potentially make a couple changes to the legendary and some damage mods, and it could be okay, But is it going to be like a completely drastic playstyle change? No, you're frenzy barbing. I mean, what are you going to do? Run to a mob and you literally left click it, smash, 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 smash. Your speed gets faster. You throw out some axes and stuff falls over dead. Is it going to be engaging? No. I mean, you're going to Furious Charge to things or Whirlwind Ground Stomp to get around. It's like those are your choices. But it's okay though. It's a frenzy build. Like we've never had that, so it's new. It's different.
Sure. I would have loved the play style.
It's not Whirlwind
of pull out, the elites. If you could like really snipe out, like with say, chain hook, right? Like if you could actually just pick up like 1 or 2 mobs instead of like a whole group of them, and then like pull them out that way and have to constantly kite away the trash. Like that would be a pretty cool play style.
The thing is you can't, and you can't like Impale Demon Hunter can snipe elites because you literally stand on top of the elite and you make sure that's what you're hitting. But with this Frenzy Barb, it hits everything within a 15-yard radius.
Right,
so
that's
that
what I'm saying.
You can't even snipe. Like you literally have to single it out.
Right. That's why I was saying it'd been cool if the chain hook would have been.
If you could pull it out, but then you'd have to like spend so much time setting up. You would have to have some ridiculous single target to make up for the time it would take you to manipulate the mobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it could still, that's not in the realm of impossible with the way the set is right now. Like you could throw in, Ancient Spear and try to do it. Juggies would obviously screw you over. The large mob types that can't get manipulated. There's just a lot of things that work against that set. So
sure. But it would at the very least be a different way to push, kind of like Corpse Lance when it first came out. Like, like it or hate it, it's a different way of pushing, and so like I'm down with that. So
yeah.
And then last, the Witch Doctor. Did you play Witch Doctor stat?
Oh well.
Did you really not?
No, I didn't really play it.
Oh my god.
I didn't. Boy. So here's the thing. It's Witch Doctor, and I don't really care about Witch Doctor, and I'm sorry, man. I know some of you guys like Witch Doctor. I'm going to let the guys that actually play Witch Doctor review the Witch Doctor set, because the only thing that I'm going to do when I play it, I'm going to be like, oh, this is fun. Like I know I'm not going to play it in the season. I don't really care about it, and it's not my style. So I didn't invest any of my time doing it. I spent it on Barb and Wizard instead.
Yeah.
The classes that I actually understand and know how to play a little
I
bit.
will say of the gameplay I saw for all three, the Witch Doctor looked hands down the best.
Yeah.
So I'm interested, but it is functioning exactly how I was hoping. So like last week when I said the only way this makes sense to me is if it's a speed farm set. And it definitely is that. And the Mana Tau works just like we thought it would. And so that's really cool.
Is it, no matter how cool it is, are you going to play Witch Doctor in season 20?
I mean, no, because Necro's going to be juiced.
I was just curious if if it was even possible to entice you.
It is. Honestly, like I like the way, I've always liked the way Spirit Barrage looks. I do like what looks to be the play style. It is faster, like, which is what the Witch Doctor was very much lacking. I think, again, even Witch Doctors that were like, I think it's still pretty split, but most people are like, with Spirit Barrage, this doesn't make sense. But then when people got to play it, at least from what I've read, people are like, okay, like this is a speed farm set. I'm down. I would have preferred to play something like Acid Cloud or, Zombie Charger or something that we didn't have before. But like, I'm really excited that we can speed now. So yeah, I mean, it does look enticing. I would definitely consider checking it out. But
yeah, I'm happy for all the Witch Doctor people that they got a set. And like you said, the feedback that I've gotten has been pretty positive. People have said that they liked it and it was fun. So that's cool. I'm glad that they, got something that they like.
Right now, our boy Egg is at a 125 with what are we at? 1800 Paragon. It's pretty good.
Inspect him. Let's see if he's using the set or if he's using Legacy of Dreams.
So Mundugu with captains.
Mundugus. Yeah. But so email. There's more to the PTR than that, though. We also got to play with the seasonal theme a little bit.
Yep.
It was. Oh man, it's interesting because here's my thoughts on it. Right out of the gate, it feels like there's so many choices. Right? You're like, ooh, I can mix and match this and that and this and that. But I think that's kind of an illusion because in reality, there's going to be things that are superior to everything else. And it's just discovering those things. So the longer the PTR goes on, the more those things are going to be discovered. And then the first couple of weeks of the season, those things are going to be discovered. And then after that, it's going to be, okay, put this in your cube. And that's it. Then there's no seasonal theme anymore. So I feel like it's an illusion of a seasonal, like, oh, all these choices, but it's really not. But that being said, I think it's fun, man. Like when I played season and I was playing the Barb, I'm like, oh, what do I want to throw in? I'm going to throw in the Bastions. I'm going to throw in, whatever, Furnace. I'm going to throw in like all these weapons and triple weapons. And it was like, oh, that's cool. That's fun. So, and Necro is like season of fucking rats, man.
Well, okay. Yeah. From a group perspective, for XP, yes. I don't think there's any way of getting around it. So I talked to Rax as well before we started. He came into the stream and he's kind of like the Mr. Meta for 4-man. Like he loves doing that shit, like nonstop pushing rank 1. And so just to ask him real quick what he thought the meta would be. So right now the PTR meta is like I thought is a Nova Necro. Great. And right now it's RGK with the Wiz, but people are using the bug. So he thinks that the RGK will actually be a Thorns Necro again against the guy that does the fucking poison shit. Desecrator guy.
Oh, yeah, Blighter.
Blighter, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Fuck. So that sucks.
Yeah.
Outside of that, he thinks, Witch Doctor could be a good contender for the group Dam.
Okay. That'd be cool.
Yeah, which put the Wizard or Witch Doctor back in the meta for first time since Hellbats.
That'd be nice. That would be something that would entice me to play Witch Doctor again.
Yeah.
Have it be a damage dealer in meta.
Yeah. But I am surprised, based on how I originally read the Frenzy set, I would have immediately, I think we both would have assumed that Frenzy Bar would be like RGK. Like the way
Yeah,
it
that's what I thought
read. It was
Yeah.
like, oh man, that
And
single
it
target.
might be when the next iteration comes
Yeah,
out.
maybe. Because
It's still got potential.
if
I
it,
hope
it
it
did
is.
the hits, then all 11 hits would proc stricken. So you'd think like, well, that's actually insane. So
That would be ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want it to be? Like, I personally want Frenzy Barb to be RGK. That's my
That
hope.
puts 2 barbs in the group.
I mean, we've
So-
ran 2 Necros, you know? We've ran.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess
okay,
we
I have to say yes. Otherwise, the barb forms will attack me. And
it's,
I
you
don't-
know, it would be cool if you could get around the Z Barb and replace him with something.
I would
you know?
love for things to compete. Like it was close, like within a couple GRs, like
Mhm.
RGK,
like Demon Hunter, Impale.
yeah.
You could maybe have Impale be
Versus
RGK.
Frenzy.
You could have Shotgun Crusader
Right.
be RGK.
well, Shotgun's
Frenzy, like
dead.
it would. Yeah, it would be cool. Yeah, dude. They didn't. I haven't tried it, but they didn't say that they buffed it at
Well, I
all. All they
mean-
did was fix the animation cancel. That's got to be like a 50% DPS drop.
Looks like we have 125 with I'm not sure if it is Fires of Heaven. Damn it. So people are still playing it. I wonder if this is actually better or people just like don't know how to play it any other way. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm not.
I was doing like
if I had to pick what
115.
I'm going to play in this season, I'm going to play the Hydra Wiz
Mhm.
right now. If the season started tomorrow, like, what do you want to play? Especially with these new sets, I'm going to say Hydra Wizard is what I'm going to go with because it was, entertaining. It was fun. Which Wizard has all the other, it's still got the Veers Chantotos for some super fast T16s. You could still, I'm assuming Star Pack's broken. Is it confirmed actually broken now?
Yeah.
Are they like finding ways to do it with macros and shit?
I don't think they can, but yeah, I haven't seen anyone do it. But who knows? Maybe someone's sitting on something like the kind of rat that would sit on like, okay, it's not actually fixed. Like, would probably just keep it to himself, and then once the season comes out,
Yeah,
like, oh, psych, like that kind of guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been playing Necro. And it's been pretty juicy. So like Blightmancer is really strong with 4 weapons. So it's like a corpse explosion, corpse lance, poison build. It's really fun. I'm not even fully ancient, and I'm just fucking flying like I haven't remembered Necro being able to do in a very long time. Like Aryan like 80s with nothing, like literally nothing. Very easy 80s, like 12 and a half minutes.
What's the play style on that? So you're teleporting around or whatever, they blood rushing around.
Yeah.
And then you're casting Lance.
Blood Novas?
What are you doing?
Yeah, so it's like endgame, and you're fully committing to being an elite hunter. So it's like you got Furnace, you've got Shadowhook, and you've got endgame, and you've got what's the last one? Oh, Furnace, right? And so
You said that.
So Furnace, Shadowhook, Nearest Black Death, endgame. Okay.
What does Nearest Black Death do again? Remind me.
That's the poison. So every single time you use a poison skill, your poison dam goes up 100%.
Okay.
So yeah, you fly around, you see your first elite, pop land of dead, spam corpse explosion. If you need single target, that's what the corpse lance is for. And then you just like fly as fast as you can, hit the next pack. And if you don't have enough juice, you've got your Johnstone and your flesh golem to plop down, and then try to blow them up. And it works really, really well with all that crazy elite damage. And again, I'm not even like full LOD. I don't have my gems leveled, and we're already like 80 with, like 2.5 minute 80s, which is like really, really good at this point. And I'm only like 600 Paragon or something like that. So I feel like it's going to be crazy. Like that's almost Lawn or LOD mage level damage. Like it's really, really good. So
the wizard is so broken right now with the double dip that I did a 110 at like 190 Paragon
Jesus
or something.
But like, is that a push or is that a speed?
No, it was just like me playing it for the first time.
Sure.
I did a 100 right off. How you do a 70 to unlock primals?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna do a 100, and I just did it. 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so broken. That's the problem. The problem is it's so the damage is so high, you can't even really get a feel for your toughness because you're not getting hit because you're killing everything. You know, so when the damage gets backed off to where it's supposed to be, um, it'll be interesting to see. I'm excited personally for the next iteration of PTR because I think that there's been some really good feedback given on, you know, like the forums are full of a lot of posts about feedback, and I really hope that they can implement some of these changes.
Yeah. I also think that like LOD poison scythe will be in a better spot with the 4-weapon setup. Like I don't think it'll compete against LOD mage for like a leaderboard, but I think it'll be pretty strong and at least be a different way to play. So I'm excited to see where we can go with that. It just sucks, like, and we'll get to that. Well, we might as well get to it now, but holy fuck. Like, how are we still having the farm on PTR? Like, imagine you're not a streamer. Imagine you're not a hardcore gamer. You can't even test the seasonal theme at all.
No, not at all. So here's the thing, man. And I was thinking the same. My chat's been thinking the same. SVR wrote, like I said, his feedback post was phenomenal. If you guys haven't seen it, you should definitely go look for it. He tweeted it out, so you can find it on his Twitter. But in there, he talked about the same thing that we've been saying, and it's like PTR needs to change the way that it works right now. You need to have seasonal buff needs to be active in non-season for one. Like that would just fix a lot of problems.
No, because then you have to.
That's me personally saying that. I don't know if he said that, by the way.
No, I know, but I don't agree with that because like the non-seasonal PTR is supposed to be like if they add the new set, like that's how it's gonna play after the season ends. So.
Okay, well then so if they want to keep it separate so that they can get their feedback without having the buff, that's fine. But when you level up a character, then let us get a max level seasonal character like already there. Like don't make us level it, please.
Exactly.
And if we do have to level it, like if that's the worst case scenario, then that's fine. We have the experience percent multiplier juiced on there, like juice it up more if you can. But let us buy bounty bags from Goat Baby, that Goat Boy, that have mats in them. Like, why can't we just spend 50 shards and get 100 reroll mats?
No idea.
Or yellow mats, blue mats, all the top tier gems, legendary gems at 25. Like, give us bags of these things. What else are we missing in there? Like, basically anything you would possibly need. Ancients and primals should only drop from the bag.
Right. Just get it to us. Yeah.
Yeah, like give us the juice so we can give you juicy feedback. Like, okay, hey, listen, with the full ancient set, this is doing XYZ. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm in the same boat. And then you can't even get yellow mats to like
try to
upgrade.
Veiled crystals are impossible.
It's impossible to get the mats you need to reroll. So it honestly, I stopped my PTR testing a lot because of that. I was out of mats. I was not going to go farm mats. I started farming mats on PTR, and then the thought went through my head, like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, this is, I want to give feedback, but at the same time, it's like, come on, I'm farming for hours to try to get mats to reroll PTR character bracers so I can just see if a build's even going to work. The idea may not even work, and I'm like, this is kind of silly, so
totally.
I'm just, I'd rather invest the time in something else.
People stop by and they're always like, why are you rolling blood shards? You can just buy the stuff on the goat. I'm like, bro, this is the only way I can get veiled crystals. Like, legit, because the drop rate is so good, and that almost works against you because everything that drops is a fucking legendary. You can't get any yellows.
So, like, and it's not it sounds like I'm just like, how could you guys do this? I just don't know if they realized that was the case. And I don't think that they maybe hopefully this will open their eyes a little bit to like, hey, we can get better feedback if we give them XYZ, because it's the limitations are there. We're not playing for fun. This isn't like something we're going to keep. Right. We're literally trying to test. So give us the tools that we need to test.
Yeah.
Don't limit us, so. But yeah, I'm with you. I was like converting blue items and white items into yellows because I'm like, I don't have anything. So, and then I couldn't re-roll gear to even get the stats I wanted. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Right. Someone just said, you spend it. You get yellows from salvaging the things you get from Kadala. It's not that hard. Okay, dude. How fast are you going to run out of those yellows? Oh,
right. God. 3 re-rolls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thanks.
Like
thanks for the pro tip.
Re-roll.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Whenever you roll a bracer 75 times to get
Voltron's paid 2
static.
hours of Diablo. Okay. What's next? What do we got next? So that was kind of the rundown. Like, hopefully I'll have some feedback by next podcast, but I am not even going to test the new sets because I'm still trying to get my Necro juice built out so I can like tell people what's good for Necro next season. I will say, like, last week I was pretty down because, Necro was seemingly getting nothing, but the fact that like our weapons are so good does have a pretty huge impact on our season. So
Yeah. I think Necro might benefit the most from season.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I don't think it's a question. I think Necro is super juicy. So if you were gonna do lawn rats, like what items off the top of your head have you even thought about? What are you throwing in the cube? What are you gonna wear? What are you gonna throw in the cube?
yeah, so you do
For speeds, Ingium, and then just to permanently land the dead yourself. I mean, you don't even need. You could get by without even having the Z Necro.
No, you couldn't, because the Z Necro, the Necro that's bringing the globes, like, can't fucking die. So that's the only reason you'd have to still have like a Z Necro running like shit fucking DPS gear, because if he fucking dies, then like, what's the point?
Okay, so what are you throwing in the cube in your set?
So probably Reaver, and a Tragfang, because the Z Necro keeps everything cursed. I think that's it. That's all you can do, right? You can get Shadowhook, Scythe and Cycle, Tragfang, and Reaver, probably.
It'd be nice. I mean, yeah.
So like permanent uptime on your big cooldowns.
Yeah,
and
measure
200% more
is going to
damage.
give you so much cooldown from just smoking everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be stupid.
So
in all honesty, like that sounds kind of fun, dude. Like like rats are like, it's rats, right? But that does sound kind of fun, doesn't it?
no, more rats.
Just for a week or two, you don't think that'd be fun for like a week, like a day, a couple days? I think it'd be okay for a couple days, man.
I think like if a year from now you're like, hey, you want to do a rat run? I'm like, oh yeah, sure, for nostalgia. But I've done so many.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I haven't done a rat run in 2 seasons. Have you?
Maybe, I don't know. Probably not.
I think it'd be okay. I'm gonna call them roid rats this season.
Yeah, they're insane.
I don't have a nickname for it, but it's gonna be roid rats.
Yeah.
So,
but anyways, yeah, that's gonna be super strong.
That's kind of it on the PTR for what we saw. We didn't get any real quality of life changes this time either.
Just the vacuum on the.
We did. The vacuum on the pickup.
Right. But yeah, that's really it regarding that stuff. This other thing that's super interesting. There's like so much to this. So Rod Ferguson tweeted out, starting in March, I will join Blizzard to oversee the Diablo franchise. Leaving is bittersweet as I love our Gears. So he's from Gears of War. I love our Gears family, the fans, and everyone at the Coalition and Xbox. Thank you. It has been an honor and a privilege to work with you all. So Rod Ferguson isn't just like coming to join the Diablo team. He's
not
joining
like Diablo 4 guy. This is Diablo franchise.
Overseeing Diablo franchise.
Now, Gears 4 and Gears 5 have phenomenal reviews. I've heard they're great games. So that's okay. The franchise didn't make any super bad missteps or anything.
I don't know. I would love. Okay, so that's. I don't know. I've never. Have you played Gears of War?
I played 4 a little bit a long time ago, but man, I don't remember it.
I would love to hear like if you're a hardcore Gears of War fan, like let us know on YouTube or Discord. Like how good were these Gear 4, Gear 5 games? Because I have no fucking clue.
I have Gears 5. I mean, I have a Microsoft Xbox.
But you're not like a hardcore Gears fan. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean, you could try it and see,
right.
What it's all about.
Feel okay, but we're talking like, we're consider us hardcore Diablo fans, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what
I'm
try to
with
think
you.
of
It's not even the same genre,
right?
It's not like. What if they would have said they stole like some top dude at GGG? Would you have been like, oh shit?
Yeah, fuck yeah. If they stole Chris Wolcen, I'd be like.
Well, not Chris. You're not going to take Chris. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chris is VP,
Right.
God, that'd be a fucking move, wouldn't it? They're like,
Yeah, it
crystals.
would. Holy fucking power play.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. But okay, so there's more to this though, man. I was thinking about this, and I'm like, it says Diablo franchise, dude. It doesn't say Diablo 4.
Right. True.
He could not even be touching Diablo 4. He could be in charge of an
Both.
over-the-shoulder.
No, I would think
Over the
that this
sh-
means he gets all of them. Like
I
Diablo
would
Immortal,
think so
Diablo
too,
4.
but listen, hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Let's say that they're working on this Trinity project or whatever the hell they called it, where it's an over-the-shoulder Witcher style ARPG. Okay.
Yeah.
And they brought this guy in and they're like, okay, we're going to, you're going to say you're in charge of the Diablo franchise because we can't even announce the IP yet. Right. But people are going to see like you're a Blizzard employee. They're going to freak out, whatever. So we're going to say you're in charge of the Diablo franchise. You're not really going to fuck with Diablo 4. That's cool. We got that under wraps. You can put Immortal under you. Like we're not even talking about that anymore. But he's going to get this new IP and maybe BlizzCon next year, they drop it. They at least announce it. That would be in his realm at least though, right?
Yeah.
Like he does cover shooters. Like you could do an over the shoulder cover, style game.
So I looked into this guy a bit and it sounds like he was brought in to the Gears franchise during a time of crisis to kind of rally the troops and salvage and like really get things back on track. So when I saw this, it kind of makes me fearful. Like what's going on? Is it Diablo Immortal that's in trouble? Because we heard, sidetrack, the quarterly investment call happened and we listened to that on stream. And during that stream, they said that they would have Diablo Immortal be ready for testing like mid 2020. Internal testing or whatever that means. Like maybe a closed beta or not even that, whatever. But like which project needs his guidance? So if it's Diablo 4, if it's Diablo Immortal.
Diablo, man, I don't know. Wyatt's got Diablo 4 on lock, I hope, right?
Or
Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. Based on what we've seen, like it seems like it's progressing.
Wyatt knows what he's doing. He's good.
Yeah.
It could be the Warcraft. This is on the heels of the Warcraft 3 issues. We talked about them a little bit last podcast, but to me, people seem to be blowing the Warcraft thing out of proportion. I feel like that. I really feel like people are just looking to shit on Blizzard whenever they can. And like, I get it. They screwed the game up. Okay. Like if you're not happy, then get your money back. They're issuing refunds now. That's cool. Get your money back. You know what I mean? But like, I didn't play it. I didn't play the original. I don't really care about RTS very much. So if that's your thing, maybe I'm way off base. But to me, I'm just, I don't know, man, maybe, but it's bad PR again, again.
It's hard for us to say because we're not hardcore Warcraft fans. Like this could be, to like a Warcraft fan, maybe it is awful. Like, and they're shitting on it for good reason, but like, it's hard for us to even, but again, like, the YouTube videos I watch, people would be like, you can't turn off shadows and fuck this game. Like just shitting on it just to shit on it. It seemed like
it's like, you like exactly. You can't turn off shadows. Who the fuck cares?
Like, but that's why it's so dangerous. Like those old games, man. Like you have these fans that are just like so obsessed. Like they're still playing it, and you've done a reforge, but they're still playing the original, and you don't get everything right in their eyes. It's like they're just gonna fucking rage. So it's just dangerous. Remakes are dangerous.
Yeah, like I said, I don't play it. I could be totally off base here, so we'll see. But yeah, I think you're right though, man. I think that they brought him in. Maybe they brought him in just to be like, listen, we need this is, I kind of gotta feel like Diablo 4 is a huge make or break moment for Blizzard because their track record the last couple of years hasn't been great. BFA wasn't super successful. This Warcraft 3 launch wasn't successful. Overwatch League is dying pretty bad to the point where, I mean, if you don't believe it, just Google, Overwatch League and just look at all the stuff that's going on with that. The Blizzard China thing that went down is just so bad. I mean, there's just misstep after misstep. And it's like they need Diablo 4 to be super successful. And so maybe this guy's like,
I really
maybe
can't think of any
got his shit together.
win besides Classic in the last couple of years.
Yeah, honestly, I can't either.
I really
And
can't.
to be honest, man, like I played Overwatch 2 at BlizzCon, and I was just like, this doesn't feel like a 2.
Yeah.
Me.
I was fucking
It
bored
feels like
watching
you
it.
added a it feels like you added a game mode. You
Yeah.
added a push the cart game mode, and you put some PvE content in that was not even close to other shooter PvE content like Borderlands or Destiny or even Division, like any of these other shooters.
Mhm.
So, I don't think that that's going to be super successful unless they have some rabbits in the hat still. So,
Yeah, I don't know, man.
We'll see. I mean, if Diablo 4 goes fantastically well, then this guy's the man. He did it.
True.
Give him credit. But and then what else do we have on there?
So there's this rising post on Reddit. We kind of
I found my first Goblin Rift.
no.
Oh, it's not that one?
No, not that one.
Okay.
But
That's my favorite.
this kind of thing that we a little touched on last week, but basically, people are fearful of Diablo 4 after seeing this Warcraft 3 shit show. Now, I couldn't find, I don't know if you know off the top of your head, but like some people commented on a video last week that was like, okay, Warcraft 3 was outsourced, but then I was like, well, but the where the classic games team like announced it and shit and like made it seem like it was theirs at BlizzCon 2018.
They never announced it was outsourced.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of.
Right.
So it's only outsourced when shit didn't go well.
It's like, oh shit, they don't like it.
Yeah, we take all the credit if it went really well,
Right.
Oh yeah. BFA was outsourced.
Yeah.
That wasn't awesome. Sorry, guys.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This seems weird.
pretty. That seems like okay. Either way, if you outsource it, you gotta take responsibility for the company that you hired to do it.
Right.
And Blizzard is not. Man, that's kind of a new thing. If that's true, then they outsourced Diablo Immortal as well.
Yeah.
And those are two titles that they've outsourced now. When Blizzard used to be all in house.
Right.
So
yeah, and speaking of that quarterly earnings call, so like we found out that Immortal's coming to testing or whatever, mid 2020, whatever that means. But the theme that was reoccurring over and over throughout the call was a huge shift to mobile gaming. Huge shift.
My God.
They just kept talking about like the future being mobile games, like over and over.
I think there's so much focus on that right now. It's insane.
It's terrifying.
It's everywhere, dude. We're not getting away from that.
No.
That's the thing. It's gonna happen. Like we can fight it, but it's gonna happen.
Right. And I kind of had some like shock. So this weekend I went with my parents to New York City, and Lindsay's parents, my mom, like they were playing fucking mobile games. I was like, what the
What
fuck?
games are they playing? I'm curious.
My mom was playing like Solid fucking Terror, and Lindsay's mom playing Candy Crush.
Fucking Candy Crush, man. I'm telling you, Candy Crush dominates the market.
I was just like, Mom, do you even know? Like, I'm like the face of hating mobile games.
Man, it's crazy. Like it's a different market, man. And kids aren't as opposed to mobile games as we are either. And I say that from my kids and seeing their friends and stuff. They're always on games. Like they'll play console and older kids might have PC, but the younger generation is console and mobile based, and they don't have a problem. My daughter has an iPad and she plays Roblox or whatever the hell the name of the game is on that. You can also play it on a PC. So she has a gaming PC that is phenomenal. Plays the game so much better than her iPad. She chooses her iPad over the PC a lot of times. And I just think it's the generation. It's like they don't know. I'm teaching her though. I'm like, listen, listen, FPS. Right. Come here. You're going to church of the FPS tonight. Come here. This is how this works. Look at the frame rates. So,
right. It is crazy, man. Like I will say it's changed my perspective as a developer, as an engineer. Like before, I'd be like, someone would come with me with an idea, and I'd be like, no, that's fucking dumb, or like there's just like for our product, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
But I would, I'd always go back to the data and be like, okay, well, this is a data show. But now I'm like, I don't even care what I think about it anymore. Really?
Yeah.
I was
So
like, throw what I think out the window. It's like, it's just show me the fucking data. Like, is this going to work? Prove it. And let's just fucking do it. Because I don't know shit.
Yeah.
I feel like because mobile games are so popular, I don't know shit about anything anymore.
Yeah.
This is what I feel like.
And I think the younger generation is also adaptive to microtransactions. I think it's insane. I think that they're like targeting these young, like they're so focused at young kids too. I honestly genuinely feel like microtransactions prey on kids because they don't understand value of money very well. They don't understand, like, is a skin worth $40? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is a single skin in this game worth the entire price of the game? And then on top of that, loot boxes is like, man, like loot boxes are so stupid, yet they're there. Like they're there in Overwatch, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch has some really cool skins for this Lunar Festival that they're doing right now. And so I played Overwatch a decent amount, but nowhere close to getting the skins I want or the currency to buy them. And it's like, so what am I going to go spend $15, $20 to potentially maybe get the skin I want? It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like I might consider buying it for, $5, $2, $5, something like that. But when there's no chance, I'm like, why am I going to gamble? So
yeah, crazy. It is crazy. I just don't understand the world anymore, obviously. But yeah, there was one thing. This got linked to me at the start of my stream, and I told you to watch it right before we started because I wanted to talk about it. So Wolcen Lords of Mayhem came out with this release trailer.
Okay.
And I honestly watched this trailer. Okay. And the trailer's pretty good.
Yeah.
So as a person that played alpha and beta, right? And so just a review, again, alpha I thought was okay. Beta I thought was pretty bad.
Right.
Which is weird because that's not usually like the right you would think. So you watch this trailer and like I finished it and I was like, this looks pretty good. So I can't help but feel like, one, I'm getting debated by a trailer, like someone that's like made a good trailer, or two, like I got debated by the alpha and the demo, and they only showed us like this tiny little fraction of the game. I don't know. Like I honestly watched this and I was like silent because I was just like, I don't understand.
Okay, yeah. So my feedback is kind of in the same. I didn't play the alpha or the beta, but I did hear your feedback from them, and I didn't seem too impressed with what I saw when I researched the game, right? And I watched some of your gameplay months ago when we talked about it. I went back and watched some of your stuff. But I gotta say, man, this trailer looks pretty good to me. Yeah. And there are so many things that I think that they did well in the trailer. They're showcasing different styles of classes from, I'll just relate to Diablo 3 because that's what I know, but it seems like they have a hunter class. It seems like they have a melee barb class. But then like right now, as you can see, if you're watching the video version of the podcast, this dude just fucking morphed into an angel and he's like kicking ass as an angel. Big giant Diablo thing. Yeah. But they have mechanics where the bosses are putting like, red telegraphs. Get out of these danger zones. Yeah, telegraphs and things. It looks like it's got all of the cool things that ARPG should have. So
yeah, I don't understand.
I don't know. I kind of like you though. I feel like I'm getting debated a little bit. I'm with you. It's like, is it really going to be this good? Because that looks really good.
Right.
So
yeah,
graphically, well, what do you think graphically? I think it's
look at this. Okay, so you guys are right at home. You can't see it, right? Or look at that. He's got like a chain sword.
Yeah,
we don't even see.
It's like God of War style.
Yeah, it's fucking baller.
Yeah, that looks really cool. It's really God of War, and that's an amazing thing to copy. So
I just don't understand. Like, are we getting debated? It just makes me speechless. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah,
but it comes out Thursday. Thursday.
Yeah, so I got, I got a copy of it.
Of course.
So, one of my community members, Raz, hooked me up with it. He's like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, so I guess we're gonna we're gonna check this bad
I
boy
guess.
out."
Yeah. I actually.
We'll see. Something that I don't know anything about is the multiplayer experience in this game.
Who cares?
I think it'd be fun Thursday night if I was like, "Yo, Fluff, you want to play
Sure.
Wolcen?" Like,
Yeah.
man, let's do it. You know what I mean? I think it'd be cool if it has it.
Yeah.
This coming from the guy who hates campaigns says, "Who cares?" Hold on.
I'm all about SSF is what I'm trying to say.
Hold on.
But yeah, I'm actually having surgery on Thursday. So,
What?
Yeah.
You got that penis in? Oh,
bro, it's inflatable now.
the button.
No, I'm finally like 28 years. I've had a deviated septum. I'm finally gonna get it addressed.
What does that even mean?
I spend $250,000 a year on my face, so I'm actually like 79 years old.
What is a deviated septum?
So it basically means I broke my nose several times growing up.
Okay.
From like fighting and all that stuff, and so like it just has become clogged from the breaks. So like I can't breathe out of my left nostril.
Yeah.
Which makes snorting crack like the worst. But yeah,
Okay.
so if my right nostril clogs, like I just can't breathe out my nose, which happens a lot because you can only breathe
Didn't
out of
Kanye
one.
West's mom die from like cosmetic nose surgery? Be careful, dude.
Oh God, it's not cosmetic nose surgery. It's a deviated septum fix.
He's gonna come back with like this perfectly straight,
a Michael Jackson nose.
You're trying to play it off like it's like that's a deviated septum, but in reality,
dude,
you're trying to pretty up. So
no, I can like you watch you. If I snort, like my left nostril goes in because there's no air going through.
Okay.
So like, you shouldn't be able to hear me sniffing, like breathing in through my nose.
So I didn't know. I think this is normal. I Googled it a long time ago, but I have a thing where my nostril that I breathe in cycles, and it's called like a nasal cycle or something like that. And it's apparently really common, but I always thought something was wrong too. But I do that like, frequently, it's like you can feel it like, oh, feels like one nostril's clogged up. That's cool. Thursday, you're getting that knocked out.
Yeah.
So what's the downtime? What's the deal?
I don't really know. So like they told me like, okay, you'll be able to like walk out, like you come in at like 8, you get like put down under or whatever, and then you walk out. So, and then I guess they put these things in your nose so you can like breathe still, and then they just like take them out like later in the day, like 3 o'clock. So it's getting done at 8, and they pull them out at 3, and then like I'll be done.
So you're gonna have like a straw in your nose,
I guess.
Make sure we get pictures, dude.
You bet. It's gonna be gross though. I would bet my face will be swollen. But
I would think. Yeah.
We'll see. If I look like a monster, I'll probably just turn the cam off and be one of those normie streams. Because I mean, the people come for the face, and if the face is off, then
just put a still picture up and just yeah, just do that. There you go, right there. Just leave that up the whole time.
I'm so thrilled to be playing right now.
It's so good. But yeah, so I'm kind of, so here's my thing. All right, listen, guys, everybody that bitched and complained, I started playing PoE again, and it's your fault, mainly your fault.
Pepe clapping.
I haven't put a crazy amount of time in, but some of you guys could probably get to the same level in like 20 minutes. But I'm level 24 and almost through Act 2. And I did SSF, playing solo, just figuring stuff out.
Yep.
I didn't want people to hand me loot. I didn't want, I'm taking my time. I'm figuring out how skills work and how, just all the mechanics work. I'm instead of just like rushing through, I'm trying to figure things out. And it's been fun. I've been having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I might have got debated with the build that I picked, a little bit. I went with that. What is it? The witch, the arc witch?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like people come in stream and they're like, "Oh, bro, are you really doing arc witch? That's a fucking meme." And I'm like, half the people tell me like, "Dude, don't listen to him. It's fucking good." And half the people are like, "Dude, this is a fucking meme."
It's a good build.
So,
it's just like, that's literally, if you're like, oh, I'm playing PoE for the first time, people are always like, oh, Enki's Arc Witch, Enki's Arc Witch. Like, it's just like a meme. Like, everyone plays that for the first time.
But that's what people did to me. Like, it was chat's fault. They're like, yo, try this. This is good. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, it's got 15,000 posts on the, the website. I'm like, so it can't be total shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun, but like as soon as I start, like, okay, so Wolcen's coming out Thursday. So now instead of streaming PoE like I was going to, I'm gonna try Wolcen. So what if Wolcen's good? Now PoE's in the back burner.
Here we
again?
go. The excuses are already coming in, chat.
So it's a good time to be playing RPGs right now, I guess, man. Yeah. If Wolcen lives up to that trailer, it's gonna be hot. So I think I got that trailer kind of got my hopes up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm scared now, dude.
Debated though. We're totally gonna get debated.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And then but speaking of PoE though, they have a league reveal in 3 weeks. What is this?
So they didn't like come out and say much, but they basically said like their supporter packs for this league are ending because they're announcing the next league, a 3.10 expansion. In 3 weeks. So just 3 weeks. And again, the reason I bring this up is one, that's exciting because like this league is still good. Like I'm still getting enjoyment out of it. And like the next one's already coming, which I can't even remember the last time I played a full Diablo season. So like I feel like that says a lot. And then two, I can't help but feel like the PoE League and the Diablo 3 season are going to 100% line up this time. And that really fucking sucks.
Well, let's hope not, man. Let's hope not, dude.
I hope not. I fucking hope not.
It's interesting, man. Like, so there's the ARPG scene has this big hole. Like, another game can swoop in and take, because right now PoE's doing really well, right? But that's really about it. Like, Diablo seasons aren't holding out near like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
If Wolcen comes in here and actually delivers, like, this could be interesting, Or if Lost Ark would stop fucking around and release a North American client,
But I don't know. Even with Lost Ark, like, unless PvP hits where it hit off, like say poof, we get Lost Ark tomorrow. Unless PvP is like just everyone loves it, like it's dead within 2 weeks. Because the PvE content's just not there.
Right.
So, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Like, I think that Diablo 4 ignited the hype in the ARPG genre. And then everyone's like, whoa, are there ARPGs? And then PoE timed it perfectly. And they're like, yo, we've got the best ARPG right now. And then we're going to come out with like an insane one sooner than Diablo 4, by the way. And then all these other companies are like, oh, let's like rush, which is smart. Like they should fucking get something out, but they should also invest, guys. Invest in a fuck ton of shit. And I see like Wolcen, the UI doesn't look good still, but that trailer looked pretty good. And I see Last Epoch, the same thing with Last Epoch. Like it still kind of looks like shit, but they seem to be making some promising decisions. But then outside of that, I don't see a ton of stuff. There's that Magic the Gathering ARPG.
But it's so far away.
I know.
It's like they can't even release footage to us. So it's, and graphically, I still think like we still need that AAA Diablo 4 to really set the standard graphically. But if Wolcen doesn't look worse than Diablo 3, you know what I mean? And I think that Diablo 3 is still super playable. It's like, it's not like, oh, this is garbage.
Yeah.
Like especially some of the I forget what they called the big transformation mechanics and things. They look cool, man.
Yeah.
The guy swinging the God of War chains around, the Kratos chains, those were badass too.
Sure. I think the game looks good. And I always thought the game looked good. Like that was my review of Wolcen Alpha. It was like, well, like I like the way the game looks.
You know what I noticed though? I don't see any fucking terrain elevation. It drives me crazy. Look how flat the maps are, Everything's super flat. Like there's no elevation.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know why that bugs me, but
really
it does. It's just
break
like
a game for me. I hate in PoE.
It doesn't make or break a game for me either, but it's just like it jumps out to me like
yeah.
This you're in a perfectly flat soccer field for
right.
like every level. you know. So
I really hate in PoE where like you'll be on a map that's like outdoors and like there's a pebble that's like a texture, and you whirling blades or use one of your movement skills and you collide with it. So it's like, oh no, you can't dash where you thought you were going to, like where you're supposed to, because like whirling blades is like what 10 meters or something like that, and you go to do it, but you just like collide with a teeny pebble on the ground, and that's so fucking frustrating. I actually hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to do that a lot in World of Warcraft vanilla. You'd teleport on like a mage and you would go backwards or like you just wouldn't even move because it hit some geometry, invisible geometry
so
line.
Annoying.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then and so just before the podcast, PoE came out and they're talking about how they're basically going to improve their item filters, or they're making improvements to how you can customize your item filter. So we'll see more customizable options in the future.
That's cool.
Whether or not this is really kind of accessible to most PoE players, I don't really know. Reading through it, I kind of understood it for the most part. I just don't know how it's really going to impact like your basic loot filter. Will it be understandable to the average Joe? By the way, like more customization, neat.
Even with the loot filter, that game throws so much shit at you. It's still garbage. Like,
yeah, you really have to drill down.
I want to crank my loot filter up a little bit, even like, because I installed one and I'm just like, there's still 90% of the shit that drops is garbage.
Yeah,
still.
I mean, you really have to make a loot filter to like not see the dumb shit. And even still, like I've gotten to the point where I can really make a loot filter for my build, and I only see what I want to see. But there's still some things like I just like can't hide. Like I don't want to see studded belts like at all, or cloth belts, but I can't ever hide them unless I hide all the belts, which is I hate that. So definitely. And then a sidetrack, but I try to stay somewhat active on Twitter, and so like the PoE community manager, I just wanted to like she is on point. Like I'll troll like a couple weeks ago she was like, oh, I can't wait to tease the new league, and she posted this gif of like a vampire rising from a coffin or something like that. Yeah, this thing. And she's like, I learned the name of our next PoE league yesterday, my inner troll, and she posts like this gif of this weird vampire coming out of a coffin. And so I said, PoE corny vampire rising from coffin league. I mean, the name doesn't really roll off the tongue, but I can't wait to see the content. And then she made pathofexile.com/corny vampire raises from coffin and replied to like funny. Yeah, she's like quick with it. She like replies to everybody, and like I mean I'm not saying this to like throw shade at anyone in the Diablo community, because I'm sure the Diablo community has like red tape, but like it's refreshing as a streamer of Diablo where I basically get like zero interaction all the time.
It's refreshing not to be blacklisted. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I mean, it's just cool. I see nothing but good things from her, and so like just wanted to like be like, good on you kind of thing.
I'm with you.
Yeah. But yeah, what else? Do we have anything else?
I think that's it, man. You want to talk about some Twitter questions?
Yeah. Do you have any ThaPChild loves?
Oh. I could think about. I'm sure I do.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, man. I got a ThaPChild love.
Okay.
ThaPChild loves being at home with the kids by himself for 2 weeks straight while his wife is traveling for work. Yeah, that's me right now.
I don't think that's a real love. Are you sure?
That's a sarcastic as hell love. Yeah. Yeah, man. My wife's got to travel. She travels a lot for her job, and like this is busy season apparently, but it's like she's gone for 2 freaking weeks straight, dude. And it's like, oh my god. So even tonight, like doing podcast stuff, I'm like, oh, I just want to go to sleep. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm done.
Damn.
So what about Fluff Hates?
Yeah, I've got one. Okay. So every time we go on vacation, Lindsay, she'll go to work and she'll be like, okay, like, yeah, I'm leaving for vacation. And, the coworker's always like, oh, where are you going? And she's like, oh, we're going to go to New Zealand. And like, oh my God, he's going to propose. Like, he's going to propose. And so this trip, we go,
the moms were coming.
The parents from both sides are going. And so like everyone that she knows for sure, like, oh, this is it. Like, why would he invite both parents? Like, what? That's the dumbest shit ever to the way to propose to someone. It's like, oh, let's bring the parents, and that'll be great.
Well, that's how a lot of people do it. Fluff. That's how I
it's fucking
understand. Like,
terrible.
you're disconnected from this realm.
No,
but
it's so stupid. That's so fucking stupid. Like,
so basically, you broke her fucking heart again this weekend. God damn it, dude. You are. Listen, will you buy that girl a ring? She's good to you, man.
Absolutely not. But it's so silly because, like, you know, U.S. society, there's fucking programs ever since you're a little kid. It's ridiculous. Stop
programming you for that marriage.
And then you should get like almost shamed just because like it doesn't happen.
She gets back to work and she's like, so did he do it?
No.
She's like, probably fucking crying at work.
No, she's absolutely not.
I thought he was going to do it. Oh, man. See, the thing is, I think you're scared to have to hold a baby. I think that's this is very therapeutic for you, I'm sure, these podcasts. Because it's like every week, man, it's like klepto fluff and then baby scared fluff. And now marriage. It's like one of these days we're gonna.
It's not baby scared. It's like baby hate.
It's not gonna line up. Baby hate. You said?
Yeah, I don't hate. I fucking hate babies. They're gross.
You hate
shit and cry and eat and shit and cry and eat. I'm like, what's the?
I'm not even gonna go there. We can just leave that alone. Let's jump into some Twitter questions.
Do it.
All right. If you guys want to submit Twitter questions, you can tweet at myself or Lord Fluffy, at Lord__Fluffy, or at ThaPChild. We actually have Discord servers. You can find links below if you're listening live. I'm sure one of the mods will hook those up for us. Lindenberg says predictions for the DH and Necro set. My guess for Necro is Revive, and for DH Traps. They need to make new assets for both sets. That's why they're last.
They've had to make new assets for every class. So I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think the Necro is naturally last because you have to pay to play the class. That makes sense. DH, I don't know. Like, they historically love the DH over there at the Blizzard. So I'm a little surprised it was last.
I think DH is going to be one of the harder ones to think conceptually, find something that's like, you want to nail it. I think that DH is special to a lot of people. I mean, I think all the classes are probably special to somebody, but there's a lot of DH fanboys out there. And I feel like they really want to knock it out of the park. And then the same for Necro. I think Necro being the expansion class, I think that puts a little bit more pressure on Necro to be a nice set. And it just could be random. They could have flipped a coin to pick the sets. We don't, all right, which ones are we going to do this season? Let's flip a coin. I don't know. But as far as predictions, though, I think DH Traps is a good guess. I think I'm going to go with Chakram, though. I think it's going to be Chakram set. And I don't know how I really feel about that. I just kind of feel like that's an easy, good choice.
I think the smarter play, we touched on it last week, what I would like to see, and this is just off the top of my head, this isn't like a fabricated or anything. I haven't had time to think about DH really because it's just not my class. But I would love to see what we talked about, how they could separate for good Marauder and Natalia, right? Fix Natalia, and then we have a proper like Reign of Vengeance and like all the cool runes and strafe sets, so we don't have to worry about those skills. And then maybe tweak Marauder a little bit so that I think Marauder, you could make a good elemental arrow, you can make a good chakram build, you can make a good cluster arrow build. So all those will be covered. Yeah. And so really the only thing that's not covered is the traps. And like the trap assassin from Diablo 2, I could definitely see something along those lines, kind of filling that nostalgia void. I think that's a good play.
Traps. I would be cool with traps, and I really want them to make Natalia good. Like I want that set.
Yeah.
Like we talked about last week, man. I'm okay. Like you were saying to have the volley do crazy damage and then have your strafe reset the cooldown on it. Like I'm down. Like that would be fun. I would love that set.
Yeah.
And as far as Necro, that's Fluff's realm. I haven't really put much thought into like what Necro set I would like. I don't really play. I mean, honestly, I don't really play Necro. I played it a lot in season 12,
Mhm.
and that's really it. I mean, season 13 a little bit, and then other than that, it's just been do rats. So
Yeah. Well, I think here's what's probably going to happen, and it's disappointing to me. So this is worst case scenario. Next season, we get a revive set. No other set gets changed. No items get changed. We just get the new set. Like what happened with basically the 3 classes this league. Very teeny tiny changes to the other things, but mostly revolve around the new set. And so I would think that what's probably going to happen is we'll get a revive set. And
if we got
Fate's Vow will change.
Here's my problem with revive sets. I hate when you revive a pet and it has a timer until it dies. Like it has a timer and then it's dead. The revive should last until its HP runs out.
Well, it's both.
Like it's cool. I just don't like the timer. I think the timer's stupid. If I go revive a bunch of pets, let them stand. If I go to town, dude, they're chilling in town with me. Those are my pets. Those are my homies. Why are they dying? You know, like, and a lot of revive sets and other games and necros and other games have that. And I don't know, man. Maybe that's just me personally, but I think I hope that they kill the timer. Like, let them stay alive until they get killed from damage, you know? And then your enforcer gym is meaningful because you're going to have, you know, your pets are going to take less damage. So it doesn't matter. Like that's actually going to matter more than if they had a timer because, well, most of the time they're going to stay alive long enough for timer to hit, you know? So.
Yeah.
But I think a revive set would be cool. I'm not opposed to a revive set.
Here's
my
my
problem.
problem.
Really have one now.
Yeah, but okay, so you're right? So I think a revive is a skill that people want. And I'm not saying I wouldn't like take the bullet for the team and like if we had to get something and they're not going to put a bunch of work into the necro, yes, do that. But that's not the play to me. The play is to rework Rathma to be the revive set because no one's ever going to play Rathma ever again. Literally, because LOD SS is too fucking good.
Yeah.
And so why have the set that no one's ever going to fucking use? Like, let's make that the revive set. And that leaves them, it gives them so much freedom to what to do with the new set. So you could be like Bone Spirit. It could be whatever, anything they want to think of. Bone Spear, not really getting properly represented. I don't know. But
yeah. I think Bone Spear would be lame. You like Bone Spear? You think
I think Razor Teeth is kind of a cool rune. I think there's things you could do with it. Like if it's just a set that's like, okay, Bone Spear does 50,000 more damage. Like, yeah, that's fucking boring. And that's what we have now happening with the other sets, right? Like it's just more damn. But like if you encourage a play style that's exciting, then you know, then it's exciting.
With you. Yeah, I would agree with the Rothma stuff too. I think it would be cool to see that. And, you know, if they did do a revive or something like that, if they did it well, I think maybe it'd be fun.
Yeah.
The Piet says the new Witch Doctor 6-piece bonus has a stat gate for most damage, similar to multi-shot damage from Discipline. This seems to be more interesting than a flat 10k damage mods. Would you like to see more of it in future sets? So like your stat increases your damage.
Kind of like Essence Pool.
Like Essence Pool
and Shadow
Discipline,
Hook.
multi-shot.
Yeah. It's just kind of another way of getting more damn. I don't know.
Ultimately, you're just going to max the rolls on your gear and then you're good. And it's like, so it's a requirement that you have to have the stat. Is it fun? I don't know. It's not really fun. It's not really bad either, though. It's like, okay, this is what I need to play the build. I kind of feel like mechanically, how does the build play? What is it doing for you? Like, how, are you standing in place, tanking damage? Are you just running around avoiding damage? You having to manipulate anything? You know, group things up, single things out.
Right.
Those kind of things make bigger choices to me than I need discipline on this piece of gear. You know?
Yeah, and it's not even like it's different if you really think about it. It's like, so you get, say, an Arias is 10,000k damage mod on 6-piece or whatever. And but versus, you know, Shadow Hook where you get 35% more whatever, I don't know what I haven't memorized, but like 35% more damage per point of essence. Like that's just making you do math, but it's literally the same thing. it's a flat damage mod based on the amount of essence that you have, and that's your number instead of just like giving you the number. So it's like at the end of the day, it's not even any more creative than the other way.
It's the same as like, okay, so you have to have, discipline and on whatever 120 discipline. I don't even know what the thing is. I haven't played in a while. But it's like if you're playing a condemned crusader or whatever crusader, you need 54.6% cooldown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like you're still gated by that mechanic to increase your damage. So I'm with you a little bit. But it is cool. It's better than just throw the pieces on and you get full damage, I guess.
Yeah. Like harder gearing. Okay, sure.
Yeah. It does make good drops better when you see them. Because if you're playing a multi-shot demon hunter and you need discipline on your quiver, and the quiver is the hardest piece to get in that set. When you get the quiver that has the discipline on it and the cooldown or whatever you need, you're like, oh shit, this is a GG quiver. It also makes it frustrating when you can't ever get an ancient or a primal quiver ever, like the whole season. So
yeah,
I don't know.
True.
McNublet says, do you think greater rift levels should be unlocked as solo or group play? Example, if you're in a 4-man group clearing 140s, should you be able to open a 140 solo? Solo level should be solo, group should be group. What do you think?
I'm not. I mean, I like that. Like, I would like having to like earn your way up versus just jumping into it. I don't know. It would happen eventually. Like you'd be like pushing up, but yeah, I guess for like Kill Streak League, that would be really annoying to like work your way up 100 through 150. But still, like the people that are gonna do it are gonna do it. So
yeah, yeah, you're gonna get it either way. I don't really care too much. Either way, I'd be fine with it. But if they did it solo, like you had to grind your way up solo, I think it would be kind of annoying at this point for me personally, because I'm like, you can do it. It's just like, okay, let me go clear up some solos real fast, guys. I'll be right back. So me personally, no, I'd rather keep them mixed in how it is now, just because I know that it's gonna end up being a hindrance for me. But I could see it being a thing.
Yeah.
And then the last one comes from Hex. Hex says, do you believe in aliens?
I mean, like, oh gosh, it's so crazy. Like all the things that had to be right for us to be a species of living things and organisms on this planet. Like you gotta imagine that's happened somewhere else in the universe, and you've got to imagine that.
But it depends on your beliefs, though, man. If you're super religious, then you don't believe in science. That's like,
sure.
We're not here for science. We're here from God, right?
Sure, but
I'm a science guy myself. I lean towards the scientific explanation, but absolutely, man, I do. I don't necessarily think they're walking around with us like Men in Black style, though. Do you think they're Men in Black style on us right now?
I mean, I think Men in Black is like, okay, there's like billions of species living amongst us, basically.
No. Let's just say there's like aliens that look just like me, and like our math teacher is an alien. We don't know.
I think it's in the realm of possibility because, like, I would assume of the billions of possibilities of life being in the universe that we're definitely not the smartest. Chances are, the odds are just against us, right? 1 in a billion. So yeah, I would think that there's probably crazy technology that we can't even like fathom, right? So sure, it's in the realm of possibility.
So what if, and this is just one of a million theories, but what if we're a science experiment? What if there are like super fucking smart humans out there?
Yep.
And they're like, you know what? Let's just stick some babies on this planet and just see what happens. Like we're a test tube, right?
Sure.
Like we're what do they cultivate? Is that we're like a cultivation? Like, let's just throw some on the let's just see what happens on this planet. And like we're a science experiment, man. There's like some super, advanced humans up there watching us. Like, dude, these guys, look at this shit.
Yeah, man.
They're
fucking pyramids of Egypt. Pyramids of Egypt. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? How do we do that? Did we like revolt against their masters, and like one day they're gonna come back and fucking destroy us all or some shit. Like, what the fuck? It's crazy.
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie? Fuck, what was the name of that movie? District 9. I think it was District 9. District 8.
Dude, bro. District 9. Yeah, where
Yeah. That shit was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
I wanted a sequel for that. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, where's the sequel for that?
Totally.
So,
Yep.
that's it. That's all the questions we got this week, guys. If you
Easy.
want to submit your questions, drop them on Twitter. Join our Discords, and we will answer them live. I usually collect the questions right up until we go live. So, if you think of something during the week, shoot it at us.
Hell yeah. Easy.
Easy peasy. You guys want to catch more of me? I'm ThaPChild. You can catch me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all the places. Just search for ThaPChild.
Yeah. And I'm Lord_Fluffy. Double those underscores on the Twitter. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.